Hello everybody and welcome to the COMPOUND-3, a prototype that offers two manual keyboards that can play organ voices and electric piano voices. By means of this switch over here, we can turn on the instrument, and the switch over here turns on the speakers. The upper keyboard plays the organs, and the bottom keyboard plays the electric pianos. Now, the COMPOUND-3 is a prototype of a new concept which is called the forefront control panel design. This is the idea of having the control panel at the very front instead of having it at the back as a conventional keyboard would have it. In my personal opinion, this makes it easier for the keyboardist to select the switches and controls from the control panel, especially considering that we have two manuals over here. So if we had the control panel over here at the back in a conventional way, then the organist would have to leap hands for a long distance to reach the control panel, whereas here, down here, it is closer to the stool or bench or whatever the keyboardist is sitting on. It also makes it more convenient in the event of having another keyboard over here, another electronic keyboard of the keyboardist's choice, and this extra keyboard over here would be closer to the keyboards over here because there wouldn't be the control panel in between. So that's a further reason for having the control panel at the very front. The book here that explains the functions of the COMPOUND-3 also offers an explanation of the benefits of the forefront control panel design. So this is a comparison of a conventional keyboard with the control panel at the back, whereas here is a keyboard with the forefront control panel design, which puts the controls over here, and this is actually the benefit. So this is a conventional keyboard where the user has the controls over here, whereas this is the COMPOUND-3, where the control panel is at the very front. So here there is a less distance from where the keyboardist is seated to there's less distance in between. So the controls are here. This makes an extra keyboard, an extra electronic keyboard of the keyboardist's choice to have more sounds. It makes it relatively closer because there are no controls over here. If there were controls over here, like we can see on this picture here, then this extra keyboard would have been much farther away, making it inconvenient for the keyboardist to leap hands from the COMPOUND-3 onto the extra electronic keyboard. In this way, see how close the manuals are. So that's the COMPOUND-3, the benefit of the forefront control panel design. Now let's continue to see what the COMPOUND-3, mind you, the video here can show also the COMPOUND-1 and the COMPOUND-2. COMPOUND-1 also has the forefront control panel design feature. There's another video explaining the COMPOUND-1. Back to the COMPOUND-3. On this left-hand side, in the red area, we have the organ voices. We have a choice of 5 organs. We have an American organ, the Hammond B3. We have a British organ, the Vox Continental. We have an Italian organ, Farfisa Compact Duo. We have 2 Japanese organs, the A-Stone Top 5 and the Yamaha PD45. As for the electric pianos, we have a choice of 6. We have the Fender Rhodes 1, Fender Rhodes 2, Wurlitzer, also known as Whirly. We have the Clavinet Honor. We have the vintage toy piano Kinderklavier and the Yamaha CP80. Now, to this bottom keyboard can also control another electronic keyboard of the keyboardist's choice, and the Compound-3 offers this MIDI out cable so as to play the extra keyboard with this bottom manual. So this bottom manual plays the electric pianos, plays also the extra keyboard by means of MIDI out, and it also plays the organs if we flip this merger switch. This is similar to the coupler switch, which you would find on a pipe organ. So, like this, the coupler switch is off, so this manual is playing the electric pianos, but if we turn on the coupler switch, the bottom keyboard will play both electric pianos and the organs, whereas here it plays only the organs. So the organs by themselves. Now, if we want to mix the volumes, we have the volume controls over here. We have a volume control for the organs, so that's why there is that red dot. We have another volume control for the electric piano volume, and we have a third volume knob for an electronic keyboard of our choice. We have the input plug for the line out. So from the line out of the other keyboard, we connect that keyboard to the Compound-3 because certain keyboards come without speakers. So what if we need to play a keyboard that has been manufactured without speakers? We can use the speakers of the Compound-3. So we have line in over here. We have a volume knob over here. So 3 volume knobs, one for the organs, another for the electric pianos, and the third one for another keyboard which would need the speakers of the Compound-3. Yes, believe it or not, professional keyboards most of the times come without their own speakers. Now, as regards to the speakers of the Compound-3, there are actually 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they are set like this. 1, 2, 3 for the left, and 1, 2, 3 for the right. And this is very important because of the Leslie speakers effect of the organ sounds. The Leslie speaker effect that shifts from left to right to create an even deeper Doppler effect. So it's gonna shift from left to right. Okay, so this is perfectly stereophonic. And even the electric piano sounds, some of the effects like chorus and tremolo and all that are also stereophonic. So still you need the stereophonic effect. And even if you're gonna connect a drum machine perhaps to the line in, drum machines are obviously stereophonic. So when you are controlling them, when you are controlling the drum machine volume from here. You are actually controlling a genuinely stereophonic control. Over here, in this compartment over here, we have a sustain pedal, which is part of the model. It's not. I don't consider pedals as an external accessory. Why are they an external accessory? I can't understand. In my opinion, they should be part of the model. So yes, the sustain pedal, which you put on the floor, after you play, you put it back in the compartment. So there is a compartment dedicated to the sustain pedal. And here we have a wall socket, a socket for the foreign instruments to connect. So there are, this is a socket for plugs, for the plugs of the power supplies of any other instrument. So if we have another instrument placed over here, we have this wall socket where to attach. Of course, the Compound-3 has its own plug. It's plugged over there. And another keyboard would be plugged over here, so you wouldn't need any extensions and spaghetti of extensions and power sources. No spaghetti here, just one wire. And you have the line in, as we have explained, the MIDI in 5-pin cable as well, volume and all those controls over there. And the speakers, as I have already explained, can provide sound to another keyboard that would come without its own speakers. Now, here we have these buttons to shift the octaves. Here I have marked the middle C. Most manufacturers are not doing this anymore. I don't know why. On the traditional pianos, you would know where the middle C is from the keyhole. Here I have made marks. So middle C here, so this is bass clef and these are on treble clef. Whereas the middle C here on the bottom keyboard is over here. So there is more bass clef and less treble clef. Now this is the logic behind it. The Hammond organ, for instance, comes with 5 octaves. So this would be the 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th octave of the Hammond organ. However, you can use these buttons to shift the octaves, and you also have the bottom octaves, the lower octaves on this one, because the middle C here is there. It's quite on the right hand side of the keyboard. However, if you would like to shift it, you use these buttons here to shift. You can actually create 7 or 8 octaves, which could be a little bit artificial because the organs, the combo organs, don't really come with all those octaves. But in the case of the pianos, yes, you have 5 octaves there, and you can shift. You can shift for more treble or for more bass to have 7 or 8 octaves. For instance, we're going to give a very clear, simple example. This is Wurlitzer. I'm going to switch off the coupler. But if I want more octaves, I've pressed. If I want more, even another octave, I'm pressing the buttons over there. And I'm getting higher octaves. So that is it. Thank you for following the Compound-3 keyboards. As I have already said, it is a prototype keyboard. So it's a prototype keyboard that demonstrates the benefits of the forefront control panel design, which is an original idea. Thank you.